Vincent, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to talk
Nice
with me.
nice to
Thank
know
you so
you.
much.
Thank-
So when did you go into the Air Corps?
Right after I got into basic training, they switched me to, yeah, Air Corps.
I guess my question: What was were you drafted at first, or did you
Yes, oh yes,
volunteer?
I was drafted.
Okay.
Yep, greetings. It sent me a letter.
And when were you assigned to the Air Apaches, the 345th?
After, it's a long story, but after I got through basics, went through radio school, gunnery school. Air Apaches came as I was hunting. My crew was killed early on,
Mm.
and they were all killed except the engineer. I got a letter back. I was writing letters. I got a letter back from my engineer gunner that came up marked deceased. So that's when I knew that they were no longer existing. But for all that time, I'm hunting my crew. Never did find them. But we found out that they were killed. They crashed.
How did they die?
Plane took it right into the bridge of the ship they were on. Took the
Oh,
ship and the plane went down to the.
wow.
And she bought her in training something. He had a choice. He said they're going to take me with them. He was pretty big in aviation. His dad was big in TWA. Said, but you guys get home, you're all on a job. You know, would have a job. Long stories, yeah.
How many missions did you fly with the Air Apaches?
39.
Wow. Was this the one when you attacked this convoy? Was this your toughest mission you flew?
I'd say the toughest mission, no, this was not the toughest. But there was, she could tell you better than I could tell you. What was my toughest mission?
The last one, the
That,
last mission,
was that the toughest?
Your
where
last.
you were wounded.
Tell us about that if you want. When your last mission where you were wounded.
Okay, we're again sinking ships, trying to. And the type of bombing we did, we went in two abreast. Started about 4,000 feet, they started using evasive action. And we sank down to the level of the ship. Below the level of the ship, just so the props would clear the wings. Then you skip our bomb into the side of the ship and away. And that's the way we bombed. And that day, the plane we're supposed to be flying with got way ahead of us. It was his first flight, his training or sea mission. And when he did that, I looked over my shoulder. I said, "Hell, we can't go in there now." What we do? This bomb went off about 50 feet short of the ship, and that geyser, we were under our plane, picked us right up out of the sky like this. Threw me up against the canopy, and I'm reaching around, soaking wet with salt water, like somebody turned the fire hose on you. It just slapped me up against the top of the like a rag doll. I was nothing. I finally propped down and trying to get out, trying to find the hatch to get out. Then the hell I realized we still saw it flying. So we were down on the deck. Tripped it up, started to gain some altitude. We got up about 3,000. We got jumped by two Zeros. Coming right in on us. We had to go down again because they couldn't dive into us.
Wow.
So we went down to the deck again and started climbing up. We did. And we came on to a sailor pilot, Navy pilot that was in a one-man raft. And we circled on it. We tripled playing around in the circle till the Navy PBM came in and picked him up. Then we went home. It's a hell of a day.
So that was how you got your Purple Heart, by being thrown up against the
Yes.
canopy.
Well, yes. In that thing, my helmet, we had helmets. The helmet came down and cut me across the nose here, and I kept bleeding pretty profusely.
Mm.
All the way home, I was sucking blood. But when I got to the check, it was screening, debriefing, and after that, the, the clerk took the bow ties and pinned this shut to me. Then I went over to the clerk. He was putting down that we got, and I said, and I said, I'd like to have my whiskey. you were titled to a shot of whiskey on him. I never liked this stuff, but I said, on that particular occasion, he started to pour. No, I said, I'd like to have it all. He said, what do you mean all? I said, this is my 39th mission, and I never took any. Now I'd like to have it. And he gave it to me, pushed both balls over to him. I took it back to the tent, my 3 tent mates and I, but they mostly got drunk. And they had me by the head, stumping me on the collar, on the cot. Stubby, you can go home. I have 103 points. That was the end of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is you right here in this picture.
Yeah. That was,
So this is the equipment that you would have worn.
well, that was, we were just doing mostly fittings of thought. The flying we did was just in the morning, the little planes would go, they were testing our ground-to-ground radio capabilities or whatever. And then we did that for about 2 weeks. That's the flying I got to do. Just that little plane.
So your helmet was like a flak helmet you were wearing, or the flight helmet, like that cloth.
We didn't wear much of it. I think they just had earphone here.
Oh, earphones.
Yeah. And the pilot that I had doing that, he had a girlfriend on his farm, and he'd give me the newspaper roll up, and I had to pass it on to her over the downyard.
Wow. Well, Quentin, thank you so much for talking with us and
Thank you.
sharing your
Good
story
luck to
today.
you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.